Welcome to Epic Yarn Gems. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Beach Day Bucket Hat. This is a pattern by Hooked on Homemade Happiness and is part of their 2019 Crochet Along for a Cause. The yarn I use for this hat is the Loops and Threads Impeccable in the colors Petunia and Lavender. For this project, you're also going to need two different crochet hooks. For the hat part, I use my G hook, and for the brim part, I use my F hook. The first thing we're going to do is a magic circle. So we're going to wrap our yarn around our two fingers, holding with the ring finger, grabbing the second strand, pulling it under the first, and giving it a little twist. As you can see, that makes the circle part, and because we're doing single crochets, we're going to only do a chain one here, and then we are going to do single crochets into the center of that circle. So we're going to put our hook into the center of the circle, pull up a loop, two loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through those two loops. This is how you will be doing your single crochets, and like I said, you will be doing 8 of these into the center of the circle. We finish that up, we are going to give that tail a little bit of a pull, and we are going to go underneath the first stitch and do a slip stitch join. Also give this another little tug to make that hole a little smaller. And once we get started, our next row is going to be, like I said, that slip stitch join. We're going to do a chain one, and then we are going to put 2 single crochets into each stitch, starting with the stitch that you did the chain one. Once you get done with this row, you should have 16 stitches in total. In the past, I have always gone through the increase rounds for hats with you, but in the interest of time and to make sure that this video doesn't get too long, I'm just going to leave the instructions on how to do the increases. And also, I did make a video on how to do these increases, so I will make sure that there is a link to that YouTube video in the description. So now that you've finished the increased rounds, we're going to go on to round number 11, and this is going to be a slip stitch join with a chain one followed by a single crochet in all the stitches around. You should have 80 single crochets when you're done, and then once you finish that row, you are going to do the same thing again with a slip stitch join, chain one, making sure to always start in the stitch that you do your chain one, and you will repeat that for rows 11 through 23. Once you are towards the end of your row 23 with one stitch left, we are going to be changing our yarn, and I'll show you how to do that. When we come to the end, we're going to start our single crochet, and when we have the 2 loops on the hook, we are going to pull in the new color. You want to give a tug on all of those ends to make sure everything is in there tight, and then we are going to do our slip stitch. What I'll do is I will put the color that I used last behind the stitch, and then I will use the new color and pull it through as a slip stitch join, just to make sure everything stays nice and secure. So after you have done your slip stitch join, you are going to do your chain one, and you will do a row of single crochets starting in the stitch that you did do the chain one. You're going to be repeating this for rows 24 through 30. I really do love this pattern. As you can see, it works up really nice. If you know how to do a single crochet, pretty much this is going to be a great project for you, and it does turn out to be super cute. As we finish up row 30, we are going to be changing our yarn again. Same as we did before, we're going to start the single crochet, and we are going to pull back in that first color, and we are going to start our rounds. This is the brim of the hat, so you're going to want to have changed your hook to the smaller hook, and we're going to start doing that, and we're going to be doing some increase rounds again. This is different than the type of increases you do in the top to make a circle, but same theory behind it. And for this row 31, you are going to do a simple row of single crochets all the way around. So once we finish up that row, you are going to do your slip stitch join like you typically would, starting with a chain one. This is where the brim is going to start to do the increases. So we are going to go into that first stitch, and we are going to do the slip stitch join, chain 1, and then in the first stitches, starting with the one with the chain, you are going to do single crochets in the next 3. So here we are finishing up our third single crochet, and then in the fourth stitch you are going to do 2 single crochets in that same stitch, and you will follow that pattern all the way around until you complete row 32. Then as we finish that up and we're going into row 33, we will start it with the slip stitch join, chain 1, and in here what we're going to do, we are going to do single crochets in the first 4 stitches, and then in the 5th stitch we are going to do 2 single crochets in that stitch. That will be your row 33, and that will give you one more increases in your brim to make it just a little bit wider. This will be your last row of increases, and the rest of the pattern is simply doing single crochets in each of the rounds. So as we finish this up, we're going to start again, like I said, slip stitch join, chain 1, and then in the same stitch that you did the chain 1, you're going to do a single crochet, and you are going to do single crochets all the way around the hat, and you are going to do that for rows 34 through 39. As I finished up this row, I just had a little bit of yarn left. They call this playing yarn chicken, hoping that you have enough yarn to finish your project, and for a change I actually won that challenge. So as we finish up our hat, we're going to need to join it to the beginning of the row. Do that any way that works best for you. I always use the invisible join. I do like the way that it looks by giving you the appearance of a stitch in your join. And then once you've finished that up, you're going to have to weave in all of the ends that you have left as you have done your work on your hat. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave me some comments and give me a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Turn on that notification button so that you'll know when I post my next video. I hope you all have a great day.